You know. You've got COVID-19.
Okay. Okay, fine. Serious.
Sure. All right. Count us down. 3, 2, 1. Good day, my name is Peniel.
My name is Lebo,
and we are the Marules.
We have been married for 9 months, and
Are you sure?
I'm sure I was there, was I not? Yeah, on the 31st of October 2020, we got married, and for some reason, BAATSEBA thinks we have accumulated enough knowledge or wisdom on marriage for us to record this video. So she has sent us a few questions, and we will just be, speaking our truth.
Yeah.
So here goes nothing.
Yeah. We didn't mention the fact that we got married during COVID, but it's fine. It's okay. So yeah.
You can tell the family, tell them. We got married during COVID, yes.
Okay, fine. Let's take the first question. Question from Mr. and Mrs. Marule. How do you know she or he is the one, and does one need experience in dating world before you meet the one? I'm questioning.
You're asking me?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I don't think there's a voice from heaven that says that's the one. Okay, maybe that was not what happened with me. I mean, I did pray about it. I was like, Lord, is this the person I should be spending the rest of my life with? I mean, because we are born again, so God directs every decision that we do. Proverbs 3 says that, direct your ways to the Lord, and He will show you which path to follow. So I definitely prayed about it, and I came to the conclusion that the peace that I was feeling in my spirit was a yes from God. I also don't think there is such a thing as the one, because it really was not like that. Yeah. I prayed about it long and hard, and the peace that I felt in my spirit was affirmation from God that He is the one. I say this because, if my dad married someone who's not the one, who's my mother, he would have messed up this whole cycle. So therefore, everyone would be marrying each other's ones, and then it's just a big mess, right? But I definitely believe that one makes a choice to love someone. So, I didn't get a big voice from heaven saying, yes, Mr Peniel, he's the one. It was not like that.
Quite interesting. With me, I personally believe that I've been in relationships before, but the moment I met Lynn, then I instantly knew that she's the one. So from a man's perspective, I knew it. I'm like, okay, she's the one. So with me, it was literally the thing. You see a woman walking, and at that time she was still young, and we were both still very, very young. So the moment I saw her, I literally told her and told my friends that I'm gonna marry you. But of course, I was taken for granted. But now I gotta get joker. So I'm first time. Now serious, for the longest of time, you thought I was joking. But I never hesitated. So from a man's perspective, I feel like you get to see a person and identify that person as the one, and whatever comes, you beat all the odds, and eventually that one is the one that you pursue throughout up until you get the one. So from a man's perspective, Joe, now we know. This is the one, and then you run with it.
You run with it.
Yeah, no.
But then your statement takes us to the second question.
Which says?
Right? Which says that, let me read it out.
Yeah.
It says that with no conversation about commitment or no ring, is it right to assume that I am still single? Just because you looked at me and said, she's the one, does that mean now I'm taken, I'm married, Mrs. Marule?
Well, look, I also feel like there are two different point of views. There's a point of view of me perceiving the relationship, she's the one, even if I did not communicate it with her. So I don't regard myself being single, as the man. It's a different perspective, I know.
Okay.
I never perceived myself as being single every time I knew that we are dating, even if we've never spoken about rings or commitment or anything. Okay. For me, as a man, it was never, I always knew that, okay, I'm not single, I've got a person. re le bitsa potential. Yeah,
Potential.
re le bitsa le potential, and then automatically then like I start pursuing you as the potential, as the one, and ke tsamaya le wena. Even if I didn't have that conversation, because I don't feel like I never felt like I needed your assurance towards you being the one, and like I'm gonna pursue you throughout. Like I knew that like you're the one, and I knew that like okay, I'm committed to this person.
And you were not single.
And I wasn't single. No. How about you?
I was single. Okay. No. Okay. I say this because number one, Home Affairs says I'm single. Number two, as a girl from assemblies, right? The procedure says a brother will come to the church and tell the pastor his intentions. Yes, his intentions with you. Right?
Of which I didn't do. Yeah, carry on.
Okay. My point is there will be multiple brothers that are probably doing that.
Yeah.
I obviously didn't have one proposal. You were not the only person asking to marry me. So in that time,
I wasn't.
In that time, I was single. According to me, I was single. But then obviously once I had decided this is the person I'm gonna commit to, then I was still single, but I was single but not available. Because I've decided, because it was easy for me to just string all of them along.
And
or even if I knew that there's no conviction on my side to marry you, I can just string you along. It's so nice.
Yeah,
when someone is giving you attention, when someone is buying you flowers, putting flowers at the tires of your car. Yes, that happened.
Oh yeah, yes. I need to share. No, I need to share this. I need to share this. So there was a time whereby we were communicating continuously with Lebo, like texting and everything. So me being an expert.
And I was single at that time.
You were not single. We were dating. So me being inquisitive and everything. Like I know cars. Like I work with cars and everything. So it happens that every time Lebo has a problem with cars, I would literally. I'll be the first person she actually calls and tell like, hey, boy, like my flop got trends. So this other time she's in the office. Then the paralafi kadal, hey sisters downstairs, there's something wrong with your car. On first time, Lebo being Lebo flat tire. Oh, he actually mentioned flat tire. Lebo being Lebo, I took it like I kind of hanging on like ish, and I hotland that to So you were not singing. You were not singing.
How? I was giving you attention.
Okay, thank you. That means that you're not singing. So that happening. To cut a long story short. Lebo informed me about it, and I was like, you know what, take a picture and show me how does the tire look so that I can know what's going on. Mugel left it downstairs. A pot of flowers, like literally on the tire.
Like 24, 36.
So now she had to tell me that like, okay, Grand Chapu, this is what I got. I didn't even get a picture. I didn't even get to see what it is. So, but like she had to tell me about this guy that was pursuing her, where else she was doing it under wraps. So you know what? Like, you were not single. If ever you were single, you would not have actually spoken about this guy and told and assured me.
And given away the flowers. Can you emphasize that part? I gave the flowers
to Pesi, and Pesi took it to the rubbish bin. Culprit number
Next question, please.
Yeah. So
answer the question though.
I'm answering. So my point is, if you are single, it means that like you did not have to actually disclose
I
and
would have
reassure
felt
me.
bad.
Exactly, and reassure me. So you had to reassure me. You were like, no, I've got this. And the first was deal alone. How about Thank you very much.
Can I just add?
Yes.
I just want to say this very same person asked me out for coffee and I said no. So yeah, maybe
because you were not single.
Because I wasn't single.
Next question: what are the boundaries you set between the two of you, and how do you stick to them? Boundaries. The boundaries. I feel like the boundaries that we set is about communication. Like one of the boundaries, me and her, has a communication content that does not include the world. We have our own communication that happens, like even the signals, even how we communicate, how we take decisions and everything. We've got a way of doing it that does not include anyone, even our parents, our brothers and sisters, like they are not included in that. Like for instance, if I need to go somewhere, if I need to use the car or anything, like I have a certain way to communicate with her that even if someone else was to come, we are done with the conversation. Now, this is the take that I have from our marital counseling that we did with Dr. Mashepard. He says in each and every single building, whether it's a big building, a high building, like where CEOs are working, like important executive people are working there, he continuously says there is a janitor there that has that sign, that yellow sign that says do not enter. Now, when water has spilled and the janitor is busy wiping off the water, even the CEO will not enter because they will inform that person slippery floor, so do not enter. So automatically that means that that's the sign that we have. If we've got water that is spilled in our home, we've got that sign, we put it at the door, that slippery floor, do not enter. So one thing is to also avoid people that will enter. They will continuously enter but like they'll make the floor dirty instead of helping fix. So we'll rather put the sign that do not enter. So that's the content that we have. We communicate separately away from other people, and when we are done wiping all the floor, then we'll invite people for dinner.
I love that. Yeah. Boundaries are necessary, they're very important, and I think you're right in terms of communication. You don't tell your friends everything, you don't tell your parents everything. Yeah. The only person you tell everything is your husband. Yeah, I think my friends even know that there's some things that they tell me that I also tell him.
No, not anymore though. Yo.
What do you mean not anymore? I'm more loyal to you. I have to be more loyal to you.
Yeah, but I know. But like if it's really like doesn't concern me, like I'm just surprised.
No, I mean it depends. Obviously, it does depend. Okay. I mean, if someone is confiding in you, you wouldn't wanna, give away their secrets. But you're the person that I'm most loyal to. Next question.
When did you introduce your present to your parents and how did you go about it? I want to hear this one.
You want to hear my version?
Please. No, when? Yeah.
So with us it's a bit funny because our parents actually know each other. So we're from the same church as Assemblies of God, and our parents actually know each other from their youth or their early adulthood. So he's always been known as or Mr Marule. So the first time when they actually met was when he was when he came to my house. How old was I at that time? I think I was in matric or grade 11. I was very young, and we had just met at a conference. So he came with a friend of his, Jupiter, and he also came with Bonso. And yeah, it was just like a casual chat. Oh, Rap was also there, our younger brother. Well, he's anyway, our younger brother. And we were just having a conversation. I made them juice, we had fruit, and just as they were about to leave, my dad came home. Well, so you met my mom when you entered because she was studying with my aunt and everything. So you met them fine, and we introduced you as like Peniel. And then after that, my dad came home. He was with my brother, and I think for him it was just like, what are three men doing outside my house with my daughter? Yeah. What are they doing here, and what's going on? And I think my brother was just also as defensive, like, okay, what's happening here, Dad? I'm ready to pick you up. Like, let's do this, And guess how did we turn it down? I was like, no, get one now. I said, yo, my dad's face changed. He was just like, oh yeah, and then just like that, they started catching up, and it changed. Yeah, everything changed. So that's how he first met. Yeah. My parents. How did I first meet your parents?
You met my mother at a conference whereby I was a chairperson of the region. So we were hosting your father as a speaker.
Yes.
So when you came accompanying your dad.
Yes, I'm a daddy's girl.
Yeah, for that conference. Well, we knew what was going on. but we could not even interact on that specific weekend. Spend the entire weekend there. So she was chilling with my mother because she was like part of the guest, like the actual guest and everything. So she was conversating with my mother, and then that's when they met. To cut a long story short, then with my dad, I introduced her to my dad at my brother's wedding, my older brother's wedding.
Yeah.
I literally told my dad like, papa, So yeah, basically that was it. Like that's literally how they met, and it became quite interesting. Yeah. So, but my dad was like strictly like, I don't know, which means like we'll do things properly.
Yeah.
But like
definitely.
that's when they actually, I think, yeah.
That is the truth.
Wow. Amongst other things, when is the best time to get married? During COVID-19. Okay. Well, you say it. You say okay, but like yeah. Well, guys, there's no time. There's no best time. I think it has everything to do with that. For me, it was more about the maturity level. It's not even about having a lot of money. It was more about the maturity level to be able to confront. For me, this is like something very small. I had to be matured enough to be able to have a conversation with my father-in-law. That for me was like the maturity that I needed. Because the moment you sit with your father-in-law having a conversation, it means that like you're matured enough to actually take care of her, because now you can even ask your father-in-law anything.
True. And
even what you want to actually do towards pursuing this marriage even further. You can actually ask for reference, because time so no, you can actually have a conversation. So for me, it was more about the maturity level that I needed. Honestly speaking, it's not even about money. I know a lot of people that have got more money than I have, or had more money than I have, but they're still not married. But it has everything to do with the maturity level that you have. The other important thing is like, if you love your woman enough, gents, like this goes for the gents. If you love your woman enough, don't even hesitate. If you've got all the resources and everything, and you love your woman enough, like strictly just marry that person. There is no season. It can happen in winter, autumn, whenever. But for me, those are the characters that actually entails that, look, this is the right time to get married.
I agree with you, my love. Sure. Okay, sure. It's tricky, I must say. But as a woman, like you said, maturity is very key, because you'll be carrying more difficult challenges than you would have like if you were alone, right?
True.
So for instance, when I go to your house, okay, it's my house, it's home. When we go home, there's certain things that's expected of me, and I need to be strong enough to handle them. There might even be disagreements. You need to be strong enough, mature enough to handle those. You need to. I also think you need to have a relationship with God to that extent where you'll be able to just run to Him and fight, with God over these things. And you need to be able to take care of yourself first, because you'll be taking care of someone else for the rest of your life. So that's also quite key. So as women, don't feel abused or used when your parents are teaching you, or your mother specifically is teaching you how to cook, how to clean the house. I think you realize once you get into your house that, okay, this apartment is empty and it's my responsibility to make it a home. When people walk into the Marule household, they need to feel at home, and I think there is such a thing as like an aura. Like, this house has an aura. That thing exists. Definitely. And it's the woman's job to create that. But it involves a lot of learning, and you must also know how to cook. Please. Thank you.
Next question: How did you finance your wedding? Any suggestions, yo guys? Like, when coming to finances, okay, there was a time that I was working where I was earning good money, where I moved to Joburg and I started earning good money. Yo, I'm sharing confidential stuff, but it's fine. Either way. So in order for me to give my wife assurance that I'm going to marry her, I started depositing money into her account. So initially it was like 10K, Yeah, I gave her 10K because I had 10K to spare. Make a bowl pay. So I had like 10K to spare. So I deposited like 10K into her account because she was in London at the time. So her South African account was not active. So I was like, you know what? Let's take advantage of that. And she's got, at that time, like she had control of that account. I did not have the PIN number, nothing. So it's like the money's in her control. So come February when I got like my big bonus, like Hoya 10K. Come February, Hoya 10K. Oh, February, March, 10K. So at some stage it was like 30K. Yeah, barely 30K at that time. And that's like the money that she has hold of. And I was like, you know what, yeah, I don't even like it, like.
At 30K.
Yeah, I got 30K. And at that time it was like, for her it was like, okay, this guy is giving like 30K to show that like, and it's partially some of the, a portion of the money that they're looking for. And I got another 30K. Just for interest's sake. Either way, so it was like letting it out, like, okay, fine. Then from there, it was like a habit that we've established. Yeah, well, okay, fine. We're gonna use that account to actually share, save money. So she did not take the burden of the wedding expenses. I did not take the burden of the wedding expenses. However, when things were actually going accordingly, my pastor that was pastoring me told me that like, you are not going to take any of that money that is in that account to lower her. So because you've told her already you're coming, you need to raise another amount of money to go and lower. So I literally had the burden to actually go and raise more money. So we left. So that was like our startup savings account. So we saved money.
Yeah.
Whenever she's got like a bonus, a nice bonus, she put it into the account. Whenever I've got like money, then, but it was a habit. Yeah, it was a continuous habit of like saving money in that account. So I'm literally talking for the both of us. Like we literally just put in money in that account, and eventually we get to the budget that we want. But yeah, eventually it worked out. But we saved money. We had a joint account that we were saving money, and that was how we budgeted and financed our thing.
Can I just add on that? Yeah. Just to add, right?
Yeah.
What's nice about that is you can actually see what's happening, right? So as you create the budget of the wedding on the other side, you know what the actual looks like. So it's easy for you, for your dreams and for your wish list to be in sync, because you know, okay, our budget for a tent or whatever is only 5,000 rand. Therefore, I can't come with a quotation of a tent that is more than what we actually have, because our biggest wish was we do not want to go into debt for this wedding, and we didn't. We saved to the cent and we spent each cent.
Is marriage on its own reality difficult, or is it difficult if you're married to the wrong person? And why do people like saying you have to work in your marriage?
Yeah. yes, work.
What? Okay, please answer us.
No, let's break it down. Okay, so is marriage on its own really difficult? Or is it difficult if you marry to the wrong person? Okay, I'll answer that bit. Sure, marriage is hard. I don't want to lie, marriage is hard. So the way it was explained to me is, I was 26 when I got married, 27, 26, I don't remember. When I got married, and he was 32 when he got married, right? So that's like you're combining years of experiences together. I've been living my life alone for so long. You've been doing your own thing for so long. And now we need to come together and just do one thing and gel in the first month. Never, won't happen. So I think it's more of just getting a rhythm going, getting a lifestyle going, getting our priorities straight. Like, what are you prioritizing? What am I prioritizing? So definitely it is work.
Yeah, I personally feel like for me marriage is nice, guys. I'm enjoying marriage. I'm not different with her. It's her perspective, but like for me marriage is nice. Like marriage is a beautiful thing, and I feel like we need to be exposed to this content of marriage so that we can persuade. Because what I'm experiencing right now is like literally bliss, pure bliss. So I'm enjoying marriage, and it has nothing to do. There's no such a thing as the right person or the wrong person. It's about an individual. For me, marriage is about two individuals coming together. Even in marriage, they are still individuals.
Yeah.
Like if now Lebo wants to go to a specific place alone, like I should not even be hurt. Like it's not even personal. She wants to go alone. Let her go. So she's still an individual. So for me, I feel like it's not about marrying the right person. Like you're an individual, you're a person, you're a human being. Yes, the two shall become one, but the oneness of the people, it's like hard work. So you need to work for it. And it's an everyday choice. I continuously tell her that like, oh, she actually sees it now. I wake up happy. I prioritize to wake up happy in the morning. And that's it. And if she comes and she wakes up sad, then it means that like I need to hotspot her. And I'm a hotspot. Or,
like a hotspot.
Or vice versa. Yes, vice versa.
Yeah.
Second last question, is assurance or reassurance in a relationship important? Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Very.
Yeah. Continuously tell your person that you love her. Continue telling your person that like appreciate them. For me, words of affirmation is like my love language, of which I do it more than how I'm expecting her to say it. So I express myself more than how she's expecting her. Like yeah, score it's lungu.
Yes, and I think it's easy for you because it's your love language, right?
Yeah.
But your love language is not necessarily mine. Yes. But reassurance is good. It's nice when you've cooked a meal for someone to say this is lovely. When you clean the house, someone to say, oh babe, the house smells fresh. That is really nice. It's good to hear. Okay,
one last question. If one has insecurities, do I work on them alone or my partner has to help me work on them? Guys, insecurities.
Yes.
Look, insecurities are based on lack of trust for me. That's my definition. They're based on lack of trust. So if I've got insecurities, like it has more to do with like who and what I trust and how I trust him. So I believe that like it has everything to do with your personal instincts about trust. So yeah, you can talk to your partner or like outreach so you can actually get rid of them. Like yeah, don't do it like in marriage. I don't know if in other relationships, but in marriage, it's important that like if you've got insecurities, voice them out, lay them on the table, talk about them, and like give them and work together. Together, it's very important. Work through them together, not through your partner. Together, like don't let your partner be a punching bag. I think I'm just gonna take time on this. I know of a guy that used to cheat, but every time she was found with evidence of cheating, maybe condoms in the car or money or hair in the car, then the moment I confront the husband, condom one cheat condom, then automatically it becomes a turnover whereby you get to be shot by that. So I feel like it has everything to do with like you guys working towards them, and the way you voice it out, the way you talk about it is very important, and the timing of when you talk about it is very important. That's true. And I think the reason behind the insecurity, I mean, it can be lack of trust. That's something that you both need to work on. But sometimes I, as a person, might be maybe insecure in who I am as a woman. Maybe I might not feel good about myself. I might feel like I'm fat. I think that's definitely something that fine, you need to work on it yourself alone, but maybe tell the partner about it, and you can talk about how you can talk about it. Exactly, because sometimes the person would be mad in the morning or upset, and you don't understand, okay, where's this coming from, what's wrong, but once you get into their head and understand why are they insecure, you know how to attack the problem and solve it. So yeah, hope that's what you're looking for, and the viewers, but yeah. Yes. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you for having us. On the ones and the twos, some babes, think the biscuit. Okay, yeah, fine, guys, sorry. Okay. Recipe. Thank you so much for having us. We are the Marules. Are we? We are the Marules.